What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Members get exclusive content. Just ask them. Well, welcome. We're back to the county jail. Welcome to, unfortunately, a blood. He gets thrown off a tier in the Los Angeles County Jail. Well, back in the days in the county jail, they had the Crip module. Very famous, very vicious, very bloody, gory stories of things transpiring in the Crip module, where a lot of people were hurt and had their manhood compromised with objects, will get tied up and people inserting objects into them depending on their infraction or their transgression. And if you were an imposter, well, you were in big trouble entering the Crip module in the Los Angeles County Jail. And the police, the deputies, they used to unalive inmates, viciously beat human beings that were incarcerated in the Los Angeles County Jail. Just recently, this came to the world's attention. Everyone who's ever frequented or been in the county jail has already known about this. And they just recently began to get into trouble for their transgressions against humanity, the deputies there in the Los Angeles County Jail. But at this time, they were vicious, unforgiving, and yes, of course, racist. And a blood had come in. The police there in the county jail were known for putting enemigos in the Crip module. If you were not a Crip, or if certain Crips were in there and you were enemy to that Crip faction, then they would throw you in there, like throwing, a cat in a den with lions. You have no chance. And the blood came in, and he had assaulted a deputy, physically assaulted one. They beat him badly, like they were prone to do. They had a propensity and a proclivity and an inclination to beat you silly. They thrived off of it. In fact, they had gangs of their own there in the county jail. So they beat the blood and they beat him down bad. But they were not done. They put him in the Crip module. And predictably, the Crips, already knowing that the fix was in, they came to his cell and they hit him up. They said, "Man, hey, where you from, bro?" And the blood, knowing where he's at, knowing what the deputies have done, knowing that he's weak because they just beat him silly, he still, to his credit, he had the heart of a lion. He banged back and said where he was from. "I'm from Whoop-de-Whoop. I know where I'm at, but it is what it is." And they said, "Okay, cool." And they gave him a couple of squabbles. That's all that happened at first. It was two one-on-one fights. But then, during the second one-on-one fight, apparently he was getting the best of one of the Crips, or the Crip that was fighting him. And predictably, another Crip jumped in. And they both began to pack him out, what we call a pack out. A pack of people, they pack you out. They began to pack him out. And he took umbrage to that. He went back to his cell after the pack out, battered and bruised and tired of being beaten and stomped on by the police and now these damn Crips. So he made a weapon and he stashed the weapon. And when the cell doors came open again, well, he attacked a Crip with the weapon. This guy had heart, because even though you have a weapon, there are nothing, he's in a Crip module. There's nothing but Crips there. But that didn't deter him. He attacked. And the Crip, being caught off guard, not having a weapon of his own, feeling like he's at home in the Crip module, even though he had just attacked this dude and packed him out. He was weaponless and defenseless against the rage and fury of this Damu. And he got him on the ground. And he began to hit him 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Finally, the Crip that was on the ground being pummeled and poked upon, well, he got a little help. Someone came to his rescue with a weapon of his own and hit the Damu. And after he hit him, once the other Crips saw that a Crip had a weapon and had responded, they all came to respond too. At first, they had bagged up because they didn't have, the Damu was the only one with a weapon. He came out with a weapon. Either they didn't have any or they just they wasn't prepared for this. They didn't think that he was going to attack. Finally, a Crip retrieved a weapon and came to save the other dude. And once they saw that, they regained their strength and they attacked the Damu. And when they attacked him, they grabbed his legs, a couple of them, and a couple of them grabbed his upper torso. He struggled against this vicious attack, knowing what these guys were up to, because they were yelling, "Toss his ass over the tier, bro. Toss him over the tier." At this time, they didn't have rails and bars up in the Los Angeles County Jail on the top tier. It was just open. But now they have rails up, big rails and bars to block you. You cannot go over the tier now. It's impossible. The top tier in the Los Angeles County Jail. Partially because of this reason, or for many reasons, or many situations like this, where people were getting tossed over the tier, because the Crips finally got a hold of him. The Damu was strong, struggling back, fighting them off. Remember, he had a weapon and clearly was unafraid to use it. And he was swinging and attacking. But he was monumentally outnumbered. Eventually, they got control of him, and they picked him up and tossed him over the tier. He went down hard. Body broke up and began to shake. They said he was down there shaking, like making little moans. He was hurting, bro. But he survived. But he was hurt bad. You know, arms broke. He had all kinds of stuff going on, man. Head swole. You know, he barely survived, but he did survive. And of course, when that happened to him, it was on sight between the Crips and the Bloods in the county jail at this time, and the Bloods and the police, because the Bloods were not happy at what the police had done. And a couple of things transpired over that situation. There was a bit of a fallout. And so it was a vicious situation. And a lot of people were hurt in that situation, but the police really initiated it by putting the Blood in the Crip module. Or you can say whatever, that the Blood he assaulted the police, whatever, but the police threw him in the Crip module. And knowing what was going to happen, because they were known, again, for doing this. When you got on their on their nerve or irritated the police or assaulted the police, you would go in your enemigos module and they would give your enemigos the green light, essentially saying, hey, do what you got to do. There will be no repercussions. Again, I'm going to do a series on the county jail, very vicious situation. Coming up, speaking of the county jail, well, I'm going to get into the SMG. Sue-whoop, moving and grooving. That was a gang formed in the Los Angeles County Jail involving the Bloods, Sue-whoop, the gangsters, moving, and the grooving, the Hoovers. SMG, Sue-whoop, moving and grooving. And boy, some of these guys, well, they became legendary for the work that they began to put in. That's coming up. Stay free, people. Become a member. Let's go.